If you like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated. Hello, Miles on the Road subscribers and followers. Well, I'm going to kind of deviate from our norm a little bit. I think some of you have noticed I've been occasionally trying to post 2 videos a day. Trying to give some variety to what we're doing. Look, the vlog gets the most views. What I'm doing right now, you know, sitting here talking to you, these videos get the most views. But I also recognize that folks want to see what we're doing, how we're doing things. You know, there's been a lot of feedback, and I do try to listen to everybody and give, you know, listen to what they're asking for and see if there's a consensus that that's what we want to see. So in this case, I think you guys want to see a little bit more than just the vlogs. Again, the vlogs get the most views, so I think that we should continue to do those, but I'll also give you some variety. So today's variety is called a rocket stove. And look, this was not my idea at all. I'd heard of them, but I really didn't know anything about them, and I didn't understand them, or, you know, I guess just in one ear out the other. But this rocket stove is an amazing device, and it costs a fortune to have one. You have to, you know, spend millions of dollars with yeah, well, that's not a true statement. That's what my brain thought was, man, now I gotta go out and buy something else, and then I gotta pack it around. It's just, you know, why does everybody keep asking me to go out and buy things, and then I got to figure out how to store it? No, this thing is cool. And I'm going to show you some clips of videos that I've made, so it's going to kind of repeat itself a little bit, and I apologize for that. But I wanted to show everybody different angles and different things we'd cooked on it. And every time I made a video, I repeated myself, so I apologize, but I think you'll get the point. What I was trying to do, which is show you different things that I was trying to do with it. But this rocket stove is pretty cool. So you take a coffee can and a vegetable can, you know, a can of corn and a coffee can, and in the coffee can you cut a hole in the side of it the size of the vegetable can. You cut the top and the bottom of the vegetable can, and you stick that vegetable can inside the hole, and this thing becomes a stove. Just like the propane stove in the camper. I mean, this thing really does a good job at cooking food. It did such a good job, and you're going to see a clip of this. It did such a good job that I was able to heat. Our shower water, and that's like, you know, 5 gallons of water. Now we only use 3.5, but I always warm up 5 gallons. And to give you an idea of what you got to burn, you burn little pieces of wood like this. That's all that you have to do, and you just keep feeding it into the vegetable can. It's incredible how it works. It's absolutely amazing. But this guy named John is the one that told me about it, and you know, he boondocks a lot out in Arizona, and he is the one that told me about it, that we're going to have something like that because Arizona doesn't have a lot of deadfall to go pick up out of the woods. Oh, this thing is incredible. Well, anyway, so I'm going to show you how this thing works. You'll get the idea of the design, and heck, you ought to use this thing at home to save on electricity when you're outside. You wouldn't have to buy charcoal if you wanted to barbecue. This thing's incredible. So anyway, here's some clips of them, and again, I'm going to end up repeating myself several times, so I apologize for that, but you'll get the idea why I did it. Carolyn has made a rocket stove, and the idea behind it is you get a coffee can and you cut a hole in the coffee can the size of a vegetable can, and you cut the top and the bottom out of the vegetable can. And you start feeding, you know, you start fire and start feeding twigs into it. And this thing really cooks well. Now what this right here, that is the burner plate, you know, the grill. to our stove in our camper. And we just put some green beans in, and you can see the green beans are boiling. Carolyn's made a rocket stove. And for anybody who doesn't know what a rocket stove is, to be honest, I didn't know. I've heard of them, and I knew they did a really good job, but I really didn't know what it was. A rocket stove is basically a coffee can and a vegetable can, and that's it. So here's your coffee can, and there's your vegetable can. And so what you do is you cut a hole in the coffee can, the same diameter as the vegetable can. You cut the top and the bottom out of the vegetable can. And then you insert the vegetable can into the hole of the coffee can that you just made. And then you start putting sticks in the vegetable can, light it on fire, and then you just keep feeding these little twigs, and that's all it is, just little twigs into it, and it just, immense heat comes off of it. And so here we used our little camper stove grate, or I don't know what you call those things. And so you can see this huge fire coming out of there, and that's just super duper hot. It produces no smoke, it's all heat. And you just keep feeding those twigs into it. And if you listen, this coffee pot has been on just for a few seconds, and it's already starting to get out hot. You can hear it. So now we're heating our shower water on our rocket stove, and it hasn't taken any longer to heat up than it did when we just put it over the open flame fire. This thing is really amazing. It's just really neat, and it just uses little twigs. You can see the twigs that we've collected. And I'd say within, let's see, it's all smoky, it's hard to see. And that's 140 degrees in a half hour. Now I try to get it up about to 180, because then I pour this into a bucket, and then I fill the bucket, the rest of the bucket up with cold water. So after I do that, it gets down to about 120 degrees. So the key to this thing is the vegetable can. The vegetable can acts as a pilot light to the sticks inside the coffee can. So if you want things to get really hot, like you're boiling water, put a lot of sticks in the coffee can, and then put small little sticks in the vegetable can, and you catch those sticks in the vegetable can, light that up, and it will suck the fire into the coffee can, igniting that. So then you just have this big, huge blast furnace, basically. So if you don't want it so hot, then you do this, where you just have it just kind of coals, and you keep the flame in the vegetable can down. The more flame you want, the more flame you want in the vegetable can. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, it was kind of a neat little thing. So maybe you'll build your own. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.